Hello peeps, it's the Hillbilly Halfwit. How are you all today? Well, today we're going to do a little bit about the new statement from Wales about its climate action before 2030. And I have to admit, I borrowed this off Gareth Wyn-Jones' page, so I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this because it's all for the benefit of Welsh farming. So you need to hear this. These are the people in Wales deciding what's happening with our nature and our farming. These people are communists, and you can tell they're communists by the way this is written. It's horrible. So let's get going. The content in this video is intended for comedic purposes only. The views expressed in this video are not to be taken as factual information or representation of my personal beliefs. I am critically reviewing the info and videos I show as examples. Please subscribe down there, by the way. It really helps me out because people know that that are subscribed to me already. YouTube stops my comments off people. It throttles back my videos. I can see hundreds of likes happening, and so can my people who watch my videos, and they just don't appear. You would be surprised. So please click that button down there. And just want to say cheers to everyone that speaks the truth, no matter how much it bothers people. This is how we win the battle. Getting the information out there to people who don't know about it from all subjects. Here he is, Starmer, the farmer harmer. He's the leader of the gangs I am. He is the leader of the gangs. So this is it. Like I said, I borrowed this off Gareth Wyn-Jones' Facebook page. I hope he doesn't mind. But I thought it was very interesting. There's a couple of places put in red. I'm going to read this all out. This is a summary of what they want to do to farming in Wales. And I've been saying this for a long time. And here it is in black and white. These people are full-on communists, and they are talking at and forcing us to do things that they want. They've never been voted in for this. This was never mentioned on their literature. This has just happened. Who said we had to have it by net zero by 2035? Nobody. People in black suits have said this. We need to fight back against it. So here we are. Let me read this out. The food system is critical to our success in addressing climate change and ensuring the well-being of Wales. Our land and marine environment are unique in being able to address. I gotta stop saying that word, just it'll get my video will be removed and censorship on it. So you're gonna have to see, okay? We'll say that. By removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. However, they are also highly vulnerable to the impacts of CC and the way we produce our food, which also contribute into our emissions. We have tackled the challenge through the lens of the Well-Being of Future Generations Act 2015. Therefore, we have sought to address related issues such as public health, the affordable food and food security, nature loss and rural prosperity. This has been informed by a process of open engagement with stakeholders across the food system in Wales. Now, if you don't know, stakeholders are basically supposed to be the farming community. Most of them are bloody nature organisations who are scavenging money. That's what was happening, and we're being forced to their will. The pathways outlined in this report will help take Wales forward towards a place where A, support is in place for farmers in Wales to embrace low carbon and nature positive farming. B, there are vibrant markets for local, affordable, national, nutritional and sustainable food. All people in Wales have access to a healthy, affordable, sustainable diet, resulting in reduced health inequalities. For our food supplies and natural environment are more resilient to CC. For our key action for the Welsh Government to take this forward are: secure a just transition for farmers and growers with long-term financial support and extended tenancy agreements. This all sounds lovely up to now. Prioritise local sustainable food through public procurement to develop local markets and distribution chains. Implement a land and marine use framework and national food strategy. Here we are, look, in the red. reduce the dominance of livestock production, and intensify growing a wider range of sustainable crops to replace imports. On a hill in the less favoured area in Wales and throughout the UK, there is no other crop you can grow besides livestock. So their intention is to remove livestock farming from the hills. And that is a fact. And now they want to brainwash kids as well. Enhance food literacy within the education system. The largest source of emissions from Wales by 2023 is forecast to be from agriculture, according to the CC Committee Balanced Pathway. That is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit, because every farm in Wales is net zero already and carbon neutral. And when they were asked about this, they said they hadn't even done any studies. Not one study to see how much carbon or farm sequesters per acre. They are right lying bastards, these lot. We can accelerate progress towards net zero through a major transition in how Wales feeds itself, strengthening the resilience of our food supplies and the prosperity of rural communities, while contributing to a healthier population and reducing pressure on our NHS. This is a highly challenging task that requires significant changes to what we farm, how we farm, what we eat, and ultimately our use of land and marine resources. This is all about removing stock farming. I've been saying it for ages. This is people using Clermit as an excuse to remove basically killing animals to eat. This is what it's all about. I've said this for ages. Read between the lines here. This is what it's all about. Somebody in the civil service and these top bods and these academics are trying to stop this happening. And it doesn't matter what happens. It's like the coal mining industry. They want to destroy farming in Wales and the UK. Now, who decided this has to be done by 2035? Some unknown people in an office somewhere. We haven't decided at all. We need to vote these wankers out. Achieving net zero by 2035 requires rapid and significant decreases in emissions, along with restoring degraded habitats and dedicating significant land areas to afforestation, measures that will result in additional carbon sequestration in longer term. See, this is bullshit as well, because the carbon sequestered by the trees is no different to what was there before. In fact, the bog area that the trees are doing isn't. So let me carry on. In our view, the key component of this debate is how to reduce the dominance of livestock in Wales and transition the sector to deliver high quality food. Improvements in biodiversity and carbon sequestration without compromising Wales' ability to meet the net zero obligations. The financial viability of the sector is also a key concern. Livestock farms in Wales, excluding some dairy, poultry and pigs, typically rely on subsidies to generate a profit. Yes, no shit, Sherlock. We acknowledge that emissions from livestock are one of the biggest challenges to reduce the agricultural... That is lies. We all know that's lies, because a farm is carbon neutral already, and they have not done one study to see what sequestering is of a piece of pasture grassland compared to trees. However, we can reduce outputs by having fewer cattle and sheep, and by reducing inputs by making farming more extensive and diversified, alongside enabling it to move to certified organic and pasture-based systems where feasible. So they're trying to stop you using any nitrogen to make the grass grow. When you read through this, you can see what's going on. Over 90% of land in Wales is used for farming, and the Welsh Government's principal means of influence its use through artificial agricultural subsidies. Without a long-term attractive proposition for livestock farmers, given it is their choice to participate or not. That seems a little bit sinister, is it? Let me read it again. Without a long-term attractive proposition for livestock farmers, given it is their choice to participate or not. Achieving net zero by 2035 or 2050 will not be possible. Well, nobody wants it to be possible. We never voted for it. It's a sham. We're being forced upon by a communist Welsh government. A key piece of our pathway advice is a substantive and long-term agricultural support budget that rewards farmers and land managers for providing public goods for Wales, such as carbon sequestration or nature restoration to reduce emissions and address wider environmental issues such as flood management or river pollution reduction. This must be underpinned by well-funded and enforced regulations. Enforced regulations. In the context of achieving net zero by 2035, the changes to Welsh farming would need to be significant and far beyond the current plans of the Welsh Government. So what we've had now is nothing compared to what's coming. They are going to force everything. It's quite sinister, like I said, and you need to read this, click on it and read it. Whilst we applaud the ambitions of our commissioners, no we don't, we recognise that achieving net zero by 2035 will be incredibly difficult. Nobody voted for it by the way. Regardless of target date, if the transition to net zero is not financially fairly and effective, we will either fail to address the climate and nature crisis or face more disruptive and expensive options later. We have not explored more disruptive measures such as carbon taxation. So let me read that again. We have not explored more disruptive measures such as carbon taxation. So that's what's coming. That's what's happening in other parts of Europe now, where they're actually charging farmers for carbon usage. I think that's happening in the Netherlands now. However, we believe Wales still has the opportunity to achieve change through an agricultural support budget if farmers and land managers find their options attractive to best manage this transition in land use. We also provide advice and development of land and marine use framework. So there we are. There's the Commies Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto is like you're in the middle of China in 1940s or Russia in the 1940s. They all have us wearing brown uniforms next and brown little caps marching around to a song. That's what we got in Wales. We got the commies in charge and the commies spaffing our money up the walls while they rise the council tax in my area. So it's not 13.5% now, it's 10%. 10% council tax rises while they spaff it up the wall. So please comment, rate and subscribe. All the gas before he loses his mind.